Hello everybody. Welcome to my humble home. Just another night I'm relaxing in my living room. I hope out there you're doing as well as you can in these times. I hope that you're having happiness and you're finding the most contentment that's possible in your lives. And today what I want to talk about is something that can really disconnect us from anything we're trying to do in our existence to move up to the higher levels, to be better people. And what we're going to be talking about is addiction. Now, addiction is basically anything in your life which you can't stop without feeling physical withdrawals from. There's drugs, there's alcohol, and also within this group, there's things like nicotine and caffeine. These are all different forms of addictions. Once you remove all these things from your life, you'll begin to raise up to higher levels of consciousness. I hate to use this analogy, but think of yourself as like a machine or an engine that runs on gasoline. And gasoline's not the best source to always use, but I'll use it for this example, because we all know fossil fuels is not the best way to go. I mean, in this day and age, we're supposed to be so advanced, but we're still driving around powered by dead dinosaurs. That's essentially what fossil fuels are. You know, we definitely need a better means of energy for transportation. But to use an engine as an analogy, you know, for a vehicle to run, you put gasoline in it and it runs smoothly. Now imagine if you put anything else in with that gasoline. If you put mud, if you put water, if you put any of these foreign substances into that engine, it's not going to run properly. And our bodies and systems unto themselves are like a machine. We run perfectly when we run clean. When we start adding in drugs, alcohol, caffeines, nicotines, we block our receptors. We cut off all the signals and magnificence that this existence and this universe is trying to send us. The smallest things can block these signals. And everybody's at different life stages. Everybody's at different paths on their journey. You know, a lot of people when you're younger, and I did the same thing, you want to experiment with, you know, drinks, alcohol. Your friends are all having drinks, you try it. And there's experimental stages, and that's okay if you try it. But the problem is you see these people as they get older, they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they're still just drunk and belligerent, and it's no longer experimental at that stage, it's no longer cute, it's actually pathetic. And you're destroying your own existence, you're destroying your own life and your future. Certain things take control of you. You lose your freedom. You see, as in these bodies and these forms, we run perfectly with no other substances within us. Just good, healthy food, clean waters, sunlight, beautiful air we breathe in. This is what makes us work the best and operate the best on the highest levels. Once these chemicals come into our body, for a real small amount of time, they actually make us feel a little bit better. If they didn't make us feel a teeny bit better, nobody would use them. But the problem is, these things work in a cyclic motion. So you have a high side where it makes you feel a little better, and maybe when you started, here's how you felt to begin with. You take these substances, you feel a little better here. When you go back around, you drop down lower than you've ever felt before. So to feel a little bit better, you end up feeling a lot worse. And then you repeat the cycle. You poison your cells. You separate yourself from any chance of enjoying this life and this existence and leveling up to a better existence to enjoy all the wonders this planet has to offer. And there's a misconception that in order to have fun and feel good and be cool, that you have to be drinking or doing drugs and taking all this stuff. That's completely wrong. That's completely wrong. When you're a small child and none of these substances have even been introduced to you yet, you see the world with a magnificent clarity. The visions, the colors, the sounds, the feelings, everything is just incredible. That is the energy, that is the feeling that as we go on in life and put all these chemicals and substances into ourselves, that we remove ourselves from that core being, that core essence, that unique clarity of childhood, that vision to see the world clear, beautiful, and crystally amazing. And we can still see it that way. Once you start to remove all these things, the most simplest things become amazing again. Like I'm at the beach and I'm just amazed at just the waves rolling in and the sound of the seagulls flying in the sky. Simple stuff that we're all like, yeah, that's just, the cynical side of us is, yeah, that's just that postcard junk that we see and uplifting, positive do-gooder stuff. No, that's reality. Our negativity, our minds, and all these substances has distorted our view of the world. We live in a magnificent paradise. And through our own divisions, through our own separations, through all our different beliefs, through all these things we put into our body, we've clouded our own vision to where we can't even see the magnificence around us. A long time ago, I wanted to start making these videos. But part of me said, I need to work on myself more before I go out there and put out a message, because that's hypocritical. If I'm still putting all these toxins in my body and then I'm talking about enlightenment, leveling up, taking a higher path, righteousness, feeling better, that's hypocritical. I couldn't do it. So I had to continue on my journey and the stages I went on. And as I removed things from my life, it's not easy. When you first remove them, there's a lot of withdrawals and painful things you go through. Years ago, I smoked cigarettes. It was a social thing. It was a cool thing to do. And as a kid, you think you look tough and older and, it was just something to do. But then nicotine took a hold of me. That was one of the hardest things I'd ever quit. And Mark Twain has a really good saying about quitting smoking. And Mark Twain said, quitting smoking's easy. I've done it 1,000 times. And that was true for me. It took me so many times of quitting cigarettes and then going back. And then I would quit cigarettes completely. I'd meet this girl that was like so beautiful and she smoked, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hang out with her for a little bit, but I'm not gonna smoke. And then pretty soon it's like, I'm smoking again. And then we go our separate ways and time moves on and this beautiful lady's gone, but the cigarette's still here. Time to quit it again. So it took me quite a few tries to get nicotine out of my life. Then alcohol. I'm drinking. I feel like sluggish the next day. I feel horrible. I'm like, why am I putting this in myself? So for a couple hours, I can kind of feel like, woo, everything's cool, woo. But it doesn't make everything cool. It just masks the problems you have. It just clouds your vision. It doesn't make anything better. So I removed alcohol completely. I removed nicotine. Then you have diet. Just the food and things we put into our body has a massive effect on us. And I've ate all different types of diet in my life. For over 12 years I was vegetarian. And for 2 years I was pescatarian, where I just ate fish. I removed all the dairy and everything else. In each of these stages I did, I moved up a little bit higher in my perception of this world. I moved up a little bit higher in how great I felt. And then finally I went 100% plant-based. And I'm coming towards 4 years of being 100% plant-based. And it has just been the most amazing journey in my life. It's been the most amazing feelings once I finally removed all suffering animal products from my diet. That was the step which made me just reach these highest levels. It just made me feel so amazing. Because I love these life forms, these animals on this planet more than anything else. They bring me so much contentment and joy that it's unbelievable. I couldn't envision a world without turtles walking on the beach, seagulls flying through the air, baby kittens, little dogs, every type of magnificent creature on this planet giraffes, kangaroos. You could just go down the list of animalia, and I love them all. They make our planet a paradise, just amazing. So when I removed animal products from my diet, for the first time I felt extremely centered. Ideas just started coming to me. I'd always wanted to write a book. I never took the steps or the action to do it. When I had all these poisons and addictions in me, when I was consuming animal products, when I was smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, all these things were masking my ability to take action on my dreams. And when I removed all these poisons and toxins from my life, everything fell into place. Always in the back of my mind, when I was smoking cigarettes, I always had in the back of my mind, someday I'm going to quit these. And if you're putting these poisons in your body, if you have the small thought in your mind that I'm going to quit these someday, I'm going to get all this poison out of my body. If you even have a fleeting thought of that in your mind, then someday you can move beyond all this chemicals and poisons that have enslaved you. Because you're not free when that stuff's in your body. You're a slave. You have self-enslaved yourself the first time you start putting these poisons into your body. And when it comes to hard drugs, I never even touched them. But I know plenty of people that did, and it destroyed their life. They became a shell of their magnificence that they once were. You're given the most amazing gift of your life. You can interact with this entire world around you and see all this beauty. And you put these poisons into your body, you're like taking your gift that you've been given and saying, I'm throwing it in the trash. And if you have put these hard substances in your body, you can still come back from it. I've known people that were addicted to meth, heroin, prescription opiates, every type of drug you can think of. And when they stopped all that stuff, they went through hell. It's not going to be easy because your body's going to scream out for it. But if you're strong, if you're a warrior for righteousness, if you're taking steps to walk on an elevated path in this life and you get all those poisons out of your body, your life will become better. I guarantee you, if you take the steps to get these poisons and toxins out of your system, your life will get better. Because the universe wants to work with you and give you gifts and blessings. All the abundance, all the manifestations, all these things that we hope and dream for. The universe wants to give them to you. It's not other people's stuff. It's all of our stuff. Every magnificent luxury you see on the planet is waiting for you. But when you put these poisons in your body, you block them off. You push away all of these gifts and wonderful energies which you could be enjoying and experiencing. There's a lot of things in our lives which are a hindrance. Another thing I cut out, which is probably the hardest hurdle for people to remove, caffeine. And as soon as I tell people I don't drink any caffeine, they're like, how do you wake up? How do you have so much energy? How do you do all this stuff? Quitting caffeine, like cigarettes, it wasn't easy. I had headaches. I had the worst headaches when I finally took caffeine out of my system. But after a while, not having any caffeine in my system, you know what happened? I became calmer in public. I wasn't as jittery and jumpy. At night, when I went to go to sleep, for the first time in years, I slept soundly through the entire night. Caffeine is a drug. It's a toxin. If you want to move up to the very highest stages, if you want to transcend all of these poisons and move to the next level in this existence, then you should remove everything from your system. And a lot of people say like, oh, well, that's goody two-shoes square. You're not going to have fun. No. You're just laughing and smiling at the most amazing things on this planet that you would have never even seen the beauty in before. You know, I dance, I laugh, I have the most amazing time. Just the most amazing joy, and it's genuine. It's genuine. My pleasure, my happiness inside me is real and genuine. It doesn't come from a pill. It doesn't come from a drink. It doesn't come from anything external. It comes from my source inside me and all the wonders that exist. You can do it. You can move up to these next levels. You can feel more amazing than you thought you'd ever felt. But to get there, it's going to take courage and it's going to take strength. Because once these chemicals have a hold of you, you're going to go through physical, emotional, and psychological withdrawals to escape them. But if you do escape them and come out on the other side of that tunnel, that dark tunnel of addiction, that dark tunnel of all these poisons and toxins, if you make it through, you're going to be in heaven on this earth. You're going to be in paradise here and now. I just want to wish everybody all the best. I want your life to be amazing. I want all of our lives to be amazing. Each day, take little steps to better yourself and to make this world a better place. And I want to send you, as I leave, some positive vibrations, some good energy, and best wishes coming at you.